coffee and cauldrons. Only it's not a coffee, it's a wine. Because I am filming this on the new moon, on the Gemini new moon, so I'm having all the happy feels. And I figured we'd do a little bit of talking about the darker side of things, and also that I have a lovely special announcement, so get a cup of something lovely. It's probably going to be a long video. It's a new wine I just found at Trader Joe's, and literally I was like, I need a wine. I'm gonna do a sacred thingy tonight. I'm gonna have a whole, I don't know, a gratefulness, dedication, ritual thing with the new moon and Gemini and Persephone, because Mama's helped me through some shit recently. So, and I found this at Trader Joe's, Moon X, and I was like, well, that's intriguing. What's the label say? And it says, this juicy, super dense wine is inspired by the total blackness of a new moon. Today is a new moon. If that's not a synchronicity, I don't know what. So of course I bought it and now I'm going to drink it. Anyway, lovely beverage. Next thing. Let's talk about the special announcement, because this is something I've been working on in the background for a little while. Some of you have requested it and it has finally come into fruition, and I'm very, very excited. And that is the fact that I made a poetry collection. I collected a whole bunch of my poems, some of which have been videos on this channel, some of which have been a post on my blog. If you've ever checked out my website, it is over there. Some of it is brand freaking new, and I had written it in the past years, and I basically collected every single little piece of poetry that I've written, from notebooks to notes on my phone to random places in Google Drive and on my work computer or on my lunch break when suddenly I've just been hit with inspiration, to the random receipt paper poems I even found. So there's about 50-ish poems, a couple of sketches along with it. This is the lovely cover of it. And so I am currently working on getting it up through Amazon so you guys can purchase it as either a paperback or an ebook. And so hopefully I shall be announcing that soon, along with another little video rendition of one of the poems that are in it. So look out for that later this week or early next week. So exciting things. I don't know, it's funny. I really wanted by my birthday to have, I've always been dreamed of being a published author. I don't care if it was self-published or if it, what type of book it was, because I love graphic novels, I love fantasy novels, fiction, I love nonfiction, and I love poetry. Like, I love anything with any sort of written word involved. I'm much a big fan. So the fact that I have one now before I turn 27 is kind of freaking awesome. So I'm very, very excited. I hope you guys are excited. And yeah, so that'll be available soon. And now for the parts you probably all were very excited for, because it's already about 3 minutes into this damn thing. Nightmares. So I had a podcast about this last week. If you have not checked out my Coffee and Cauldrons podcast, it's when I have random things and I babble a lot over there. So go check out those episodes if you are so inclined. There's always a link in the description. But over there I was talking about the sacredness of nightmares, and you know, the differences that at least I have experienced personally when it comes between a nightmare and a dream. And all my dreams seem to be this very abstract oddity to them. Like, I'm always in a new place, or there's something really wonky going on, like some Willy Wonka, Alice in Wonderland, I took an acid trip shit, like laws of physics no longer a thing in my dreams. And so there are a lot of things like that which just always kind of pop up, and I think it's almost the absurdity of a lot of that stuff that never makes anything that happens in my dreams scary to me. I am, even if like really terrifying things are happening, like there are times where I'm like witnessing cannibalism, or like God, what was that really weird, there's always one where it was like you could fall off the edge of the building and fall into the empty void that is space at any time if you just stepped kind of wrong. But I remember it felt like more of like a game, like almost like a can't step on the floor as a little kid because the floor is lava. Like, hello camera. It was one of those. Like, it felt like a game like that, even though there seemed to be very real stakes within the dream. And that one always, like, when I woke up I was like, that's messed up. Like, I was perfectly fine playing with that game. Like, I didn't fall off into the void. The dream didn't end like that, clearly, but you know what I mean? Like, the absurdity always seems to take away some of the stakes or something. I don't know. Whereas when it comes to my nightmares always seem to take place and or have something very solid to do with my current 3D reality happening here. They happen in the houses that I grow up. They happen always with people that are experiencing or have cared about or do currently care about. They're people that are close to me, places that are important to me, that type of deal. When they happen, they do seem to be the thing that like holds on. Like when I am terrified of something, I can't get it let go. A lot of my crocodile dreams started out as nightmares. I would be in my bed in my parents' house when I was staying there, and I would literally like, it was one of those things where it's like, it is the exact same bed that at the time I had gone to sleep in. So dreaming that water was rising up and that something is in the water and about to come get me, and I literally like, I'm terrified to move from the mattress even though I can feel like the water seeping into it, and then waking up in this current reality and being like, fuck, I'm in that bed, and is there water? No. Is there a leak somewhere? Did I imagine it? Like, what was happening? It does really linger with you. And like eventually I was able to like work through that and get to something. And a lot of times my nightmares do seem to, in a weird way, if I poke at them enough, lead me to, I guess, something else. Like it's like a spiritual revelation or something. And I don't know if that has something to do with fear or if it's something really freaking weird or something. I don't freaking know. But the lead up to this all comes down to the first nightmare I've ever had here, and also the first dream I remember having here. And one of the reasons I think I've been in some ways a little sad or depressed and kind of coming out of it now, I'm getting back in stride. The fridge is there, it's making noise. I don't got time to stop filming because of the fridge. The sun is going down, we only have so much time. But one of the things that really freaked me out, I think, was the fact that while living here, ever since moving here, I had not had any dreams, period. And I connect with my deities a lot with dreams, especially if there is something new that I don't necessarily know or understand or feel very weird about. A lot of times I will give them permission to come into my dreams and figure shit out. Sobek especially, I think, because we kind of started our thing with dreams, he comes in quite a bit and messes with me in the subconscious, and a lot of times I have to kind of like backtrack and think about things. And if I see a crocodile anywhere else in 3D world, I'm always like taking extra notice. I had not had one here yet at all. I had meditated and tried to connect with my deities, and they seemed to kind of be around, kind of poking here or there, but mostly they seemed very quiet and I felt very disconnected. I wasn't having any dreams. There seems to be stirrings here or there from them. Sobek helping me with the whole Goddess of Cups situation and a lesson to learn there when I took that one class when I first moved here. But other than that, a lot of things have been pretty damn quiet. And so a little while ago, probably about a month and a half ago, I was feeling very like too much energy in my body type state, but it was like midnight, it's dark, it's not good to be walking around by myself, and I wanted to like walk in with headphones, like dance around, and like, no, just not smart to be walking around a city by yourself late at night with headphones in. So I put my headphones on and I blasted my music in them and I danced around my apartment like a crazy person. And for some reason I felt a very big urge to turn all the lights off, and I suddenly felt like my energy was just on high, and it felt like a very spiritual like dance party. Like, I don't even know. It felt like my energy was just kind of expanding and getting into all the walls, and it felt like a giant like light was just like radiating out from me. It was just so, it felt so nice at the moment. And so I basically danced until I felt exhausted, until I was finally tired enough to go to damn sleep. And once I did that, I had a very visceral nightmare. And I had one of those nightmares where I could see my body. So like I was in my apartment, it was like I was a cat. I might have been a cat actually, I might have popped into Boo Boo's body for a second. But I felt like I was sitting on top of the back of my couch, staring at myself sleeping. Because for some reason, after dancing for so much, being exhausted, I literally didn't even put my futon down to a bed. I was like just sleeping on it. So I was looking down at myself, and then suddenly I saw from the corner of my eye in the shadows of my new apartment a figure like creeping, being very like kunk, 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 like one of those like possessed, zombified creatures, things that you normally see in horror movies or something, you know, like something in there's a very specific movie I'm thinking of and then I can't think of it right now. Anyway, it'll probably pop in my head at the last second, but it was like just very awkward movements, like all like bones and joints and hands like this, and I could just kind of feel something moving. And I'm sitting there staring at myself, sleeping, and staring at this thing, and the thing seemed to be creeping closer and closer towards the me that is sleeping, and it's freaking me the fuck out. And I can suddenly tell from the shift of the hair, kind of like the shape of the body, it seems to be a woman, or some woman type thing, figure, very feminine in form, I guess, I don't know. And it looked up, and suddenly I could like kind of see, like, you know when like cats have that like reflected thingy in their eyes, and they're like, you can kind of like see the glint of something, like the light just catches it enough in the dark you can see their eyes. And so it was that, and it was wide-eyed and like staring at me with a grin, very creepy looking. And it stared right at me, the me that's sitting on the back of the couch, just like boom, like right at me with a big old like really creepy grin. I was like, okay, no. And then it scuttled like extremely quickly, like right up into my face, and looked down at the sleeping me and then leaned forward. And then suddenly I'm in sleeping me's body with my eyes closed. It's like I'm sleeping, like I'm trapped in it, but I can't. But I know that like creepy thing is like right freaking here. And it just whispers into my ear like, if you wake up right now and you open your eyes, you will see me. So of course my dumbass has then got to wake up out of the subconscious thing. I'm awake, I'm there, and I'm not opening my freaking eyes because I'm not gonna see it. No, 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 no. All of the no. That seemed like I invited some weird spirit thingy in that's like listening to that, it's gonna fuck with something. No. So I sat there kind of in terror for a little while. I like tossed and turned and kind of cuddled my body up. I was listening for any sort of weird stepping thing, any sort of weird little noise, anything from a neighbor waking up late. Like maybe that's what got me to wake up. I don't know. It was a really freaking like, I'm like, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. Over and over and over and over again. And then finally, I was like, you know what? No. I probably was dancing around and maybe I invoked something. Maybe all that energy I was putting out called something forth. Maybe I wasn't entirely attuned with what kind of energy, spirits, weird shit happens in this apartment. Who knows yet? I don't really know. But I do know that I was not having it because I'm a witch, damn it. And this apartment has been cloaked in freaking protection. It has my spirits that I work with in it, and it has a whole bunch of other things in it, and I said anything that's here already that's cool with me being here is not gonna cause me harm. I won't cause you harm. We'll be good. But other than that, no, if you're here to cause me harm, get out. I am the scariest thing in this apartment, and I've got a lot of big old baddies to back me up with it. No, out. And so I thought that very loudly, and then I was like, fuck this, I'm opening my eyes. And I opened my eyes and looked around my very shadowed apartment, and of course no creepy zombie possessed lady was there with her weird glinty cat glowy eyes. Wasn't there. I get up and walk around. I literally check in the shower, in the closets, every single freaking place, just to make sure that she's not anywhere to be found. And she wasn't, of course. But that nightmare had me freaking out for a very long time. And in previous nightmares, it's always been, like I said earlier, at a house I was staying in the current apartment, in the house I grew up in, with people I loved or cared about getting hurt, or me getting hurt, or, you know, things chasing after me, very like coming to get you. And the more I thought about this nightmare, the more I was like, okay, well, the last nightmare I had that was very vivid and not letting go-y of like this state was Sobek. It was very much that influenced, and I kind of wondered, I was like, okay, so is this another spirit, another deity? Did me dancing around crazy in my apartment and exerting all this energy and pushing it out there draw something to me? Did I unintentionally call something forth? And it doesn't really matter if it was unintentional or not. Did I invite something into my place, and is that something that could possibly serve me? That's another thing I kind of battle with when it comes to the craft and spirituality and stuff in general, is a mix of, if I am under the guidance in / possible protection of certain major deities and other spirits and my higher self or whatever else, if I am acting under the current belief that possibly all of these things do exist out in the world and they are hovering all around and seem very palpable, then it should be fully understandable that of course at some point I'm going to encounter something that might not want the best for me, might wish me ill. But on the other extent, if I am calling in something, possibly by accident, that it wishes me ill and I have all these baddies, as I said, other deities, spirits backing me up, then on top of it I believe in my own power, then it shouldn't be all that scary, which is why I was able to like invoke all of that at once. Get out, whatever, no. But then I had another thought. Who was that spirit, entity, thing that was hovering over my body? Oh, what if it was more of a shadow self situation? What if it was a part of me I was afraid of facing? What about this nightmare terrified me so much? The idea that there was something literally right there in my face that I couldn't get away from, that didn't matter how much I hid or, you know, didn't open my eyes to. The fact that it still was right there in my freaking face. It was in my space, in my private area. It had invaded in some way, shape, or form. I wonder if that is part of the reason why many of my nightmares linger with me, is because they are based so much in reality. I almost wonder if they do have a very strict lesson, a very strict thing to teach. And all the nightmares I pursued and really looked into have turned into some sort of shadow self thing to unveil, to pull back. In fact, a lot of times the characters that I see are very in these nightmares turn into kind of a basis for if I'm going to write a character to help personify my anger or to help personify my need or logic or something else. Like it becomes a very helpful tool to then use something I'm terrified of, because in a way I'm so scared of meeting it in meditations. I'm so scared of facing it. So I don't know, that helps with the connectivity of it, I guess, and like makes me really, because if I just say like, oh, I'm going to talk to my anger today, for some reason it doesn't feel that scary. But when I put on a very scary figure from a nightmare to my anger, then it becomes a association there, and suddenly I'm hesitant. It feels more real, more palpable, and therefore makes the meditation lesson, the meeting of the energies work better, and it actually seems to help my life and help me integrate it better. And then also the minute I seem to face them, I never seem to have them again. So part of me is then sitting here going like, fuck, that was real, fuck, that was terrifying, and what lesson is this? What do I need to face? What do I need to do? Because it does kind of remind me of a quote-unquote shadow self that I've played with for a while, but never, I thought I confronted several times, but I think I kind of half-assed that confrontation. Like, I like the whole idea of like, you have your shadow selves, you face your shadow selves, and you integrate them as part of you. You use what they have as tools to help better your life and hope that you're not overusing the tools, so then it becomes a detriment to you. When it comes to your fears, your anger, all that, I think they're there for a reason. We don't have to cast away all negative emotion or all negative experiences, because they do teach us something, but to embody the wholeness that negative experience is the entirety of life is meh. And I think nightmares kind of help remind us of that. And I don't know, I'm always interested, how do other people experience nightmares? What are nightmares that linger with you? Is it in an absurd place? Is it in a new place? Something always associated with something currently happening in your mundane life, like with me? Or is it something totally out of left field that is very terrifying and just kind of like sticks with you forever? So I'm always interested with this, because that's another thing I've noticed. Dreams, I can forget, or they can linger. And it really takes me waking up immediately and doing like a dream journal situation to really remember a good amount of them. And so when I'm in that habit and I'm doing that, I think I do get through a lot of dreams. But nightmares, I don't have to journal. I remember. I remember almost excruciating details, the amount of certain parts of them, because they freaking won't leave me alone. So this is a new nightmare I will be, I guess, peeling back. Maybe I'll get to a face-to-face with little zombie personified crazy lady entity. And of course, the first thing I always ask is like, is this fucking Loki? What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? But honestly, Loki has been extremely quiet for me recently, which is worrying and also kind of comforting at the same time. Kind of like, in a weird way, almost going like, okay, no, this is something different, something else. Not him, in a way. But it could be him, who knows. But anyway, that is the Coffee and Cauldrons / special announcement thingy. As I said before, comment down below about your nightmares and all that other stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.